If you think a man is saying something wise, they probably aren't. I guarantee there's a black woman or woman of color who said it before them. What's saddest, though, is that a man telling people about this experience is the only way people would believe it.
My mother is an ableist shitlord. Honestly, I can't handle living in this house anymore. She just made me put on pants! Pants! My tail is so uncomfortable and the rough material messes up my fur. Disgusting! Why would you make a wolf wear pants? Honestly, just so ignorant and ableist. I can't wait to move out.
Guys sitting next to me talking about how they don't want a daughter because if they had a son they wouldn't care about him fucking 100 girls, but the daughter would be on lockdown? Guy's sister wasn't allowed to sleep over at all, and he's coming home at 4 a.m.? What the fuck? I hope to God they don't have any fucking kids at all.
I hate it when people correct my grammar. Like, I get it. You're richer than I am. It's the verbal equivalent of hitting someone with your Lamborghini.
What she says. Oh, I don't mind. We can eat anywhere. I'm not picky. What she means. For my entire life, I've been called bossy, picky, selfish, arrogant, bitchy for voicing my own opinions and making my views known. So now when someone I care about asks me what I want, my immediate gut reaction is to defer to the other person's preference. It's less of a hassle to capitulate to someone else's desires than to risk having someone verbally berate me for being truthful about what I want. You're white. You are not obligated to complain about people touching your hair because you're not an animal. You're white. Stop using posts directed towards and for a black woman on Tumblr to try and one-up on me. You're white. You have no right to be offended for people touching your hair because people never touch your hair. You're white. Black women deal with having their hair touched constantly while you deal with it maybe once in a great while. You're white. Quit trying to be like us. Quit trying to use our hair movement to plead your case. You're white. You have no reason to be offended. You do not spend half as much time in front of the mirror caring for your hair and buying only the best and the safest product to treat your hair. Your hair will not nor will ever mess up like ours and not have to be put back together with a hot comb and a mirror for an hour straight. Why? Because you're white. So stop trying to be like us.
Before you go saying that made-up pronouns are harmful, just remember that my spirit-assigned pronouns are not he, she, or they, are used in a purely religious sense, came to me through meditation and practice of my beliefs, and are a large part of my identity as a trans GNC witch, so, yeah. Maybe don't make fun of people's gender identities when they might be tied to their spiritual beliefs. Just a thought.
This Pride Month, let's bring back the tradition of throwing bricks at police officers. Trans people are never rapists. Rape has to do with power. Transgender people are the most hated people in the world. Therefore, they have no power over cis people. So even if a trans person forces a cis person to have sex with them, it is not rape. Cis women can't be raped by trans women. To suggest they can minimizes the struggles of trans women in society. How dare you? How fucking dare you? I pray one day you realize how much this hurts me and other survivors. I'm sorry you're a forced sex survivor, and I wish you the best, but it wasn't rape. The trans person who forced you to have sex with him is socially below you in terms of power. Therefore, it did not rape you. Sending you lots of love, and I hope you get better soon. Queer teens are now the majority. Goodbye, straight people.
Goodbye, straight people. I can't say I'll miss you, to be honest.
Finally, we did it.
Men are taught not to be emotional. Pal men are taught to throw tables across the room if they're angry and punch people who mildly disrespect them. All of these things are emotional responses. They're just incongruous with what we consider emotional to be. An example, a sniffling teenage girl. Men are super emotional. They're so selfishly emotional. They're so emotional that they have to let any living creature around them feel the pain they feel inside, even for a sec.
When I say trans women can reproduce with cis women, I don't mean to say that they're going to repopulate the fucking planet. But to be honest, if you're gonna play the men are necessary because reproduction card, then you're wrong because actually, you don't need a man to reproduce. That can happen with two women too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to fetishize anything. It's just fact that it is in fact possible for trans women to reproduce with cis women. Shocking, I know. You know what? I've had it. I'm claiming the word dapper for butch lesbians. Men can't use it. Y'all had your chance. Dapper is butches only. You better watch your step, or I'll take handsome too. If you're white and all your closest friends are white, I don't trust you.
Nighttime would be so beautiful and fun if all men had a curfew.
Oh my god, my mind runs wild thinking of all the things I'd do in the dark if there were no men out after 9. Hashtag free bleeders movement.
I think we need to take the B out of I think we need to take the B out of LGBT. Bisexuals have it way better than most of us in the queer community. They have straight privilege and ride on the coattails of the gay community. But we have to hide our sexualities to avoid persecution too. No, you just hide half of it. You can date someone of the opposite gender and live your life, and no one would be the wiser. Gays can't do that. No matter what we do, we'll rise suspicion. How come you haven't had a girlfriend? You spend an awful lot of time with blank lately. Is there something you're not telling me? Most bisexuals do live a straight life. My fiance knows I'm Mo guy, and even though he's cisgender, he accepts me and tries to be an ally and understand these things. Well, after a year of not attempting to use my pronouns, outside of auxiliary, because he has memory issues, he decided to learn one of my sets. The cutest thing is that he has the spelling and conjunction correct, but always accidentally uses it in place of my name. I love you, Wolpsef! Actual quote from him. Babe, I love you, and I really appreciate the effort, but that's the same thing as saying, I love you himself. Oh, fine. Leaves the room to go talk to my mom, who's pretty transphobic. Hey, Mom. He calls my mom out of habit. Did you know that you raised a very amazing Zamiel, and I can't wait to make Volp happy and give Vool what Vool deserves. Comes back to me. Did I do it right? It was damn well worth the ass whooping I got later that night. What? Every time I see a male positivity or positivity for men post, I gag a little, throw open my mouth, screw up my face. Where are the white positivity posts? The straight positivity posts? Oh right, straight people and white people aren't oppressed. Well, newsflash, neither are men. It's amazing how good men are at painting themselves as the victims that need to be coddled when they're the ones doing the raping and the killing and the mass shootings. The one that impose beauty standards on women, but go off, I guess. I can't fuck with people that got the flash on when they get phone calls or texts. Why do you hate hard of hearing and deaf people? Here's an alternate theory. I wasn't thinking about them when I made this post, and you know that as well, but you decided you would make an issue out of this anyway. Guys, can we please stop making posts like straight people are illegal now? It's not really contributing to the cause, and you can't fight hate with hate. We should all be celebrating, whether you're straight or
I'm just fucking with you. I can't believe straight people are legal now.
It's really weird how there's this culture in progressive spaces where like you can be as mean, as cruel even, as you want, as long as you're not being explicitly bigoted towards any marginalized group of people, and still be seen as a really good person with good morals who nobody is allowed to have beef with because they've never done anything racist or homophobic. You know what'd be nice? If the internet was female only. Just picture it. No porn, no sexism, no harassment. It'd be the only thing in the world not corrupted by men.
I hate it when misogynists imply that having a yeast infection is a bad thing. All it proves is that these incels have no idea how vaginas work. I love my little colony of yeasties. I will sometimes flour my vagina to encourage growth, and then use some of it to bake empowering loaves of bread for the misandry sisterhood.
I love how there's a bunch of people screaming at me and calling me disgusting for being a zoophile, while in a lot of countries zoophilia is totally legal. Before gay marriage was legalized fully in the US, more states have bestiality legalized than gay marriage. You can look up bestiality on Tumblr and see a million pictures and videos of people fucking their dogs. Most of the time, it's not rape and the animal is totally into it, usually in heat. Y'all need to chill a bit.
It's 2018. This year, straight people are shot on sight.
What thin people say to fat people versus what thin people really mean. Thin person, that outfit is really flattering on you.
What a thin person is saying. You look good because your fat isn't showing as much.
Thin person, do you want to order the salad for lunch today?
What a thin person is saying. You need to lose weight and I think your fat is disgusting.
Thin person, do you want to go shop at this store with me? Points to store with no plus size options.
What thin person is saying? I can fit into those clothes, but you can't and you should feel bad about yourself.
Thin person, have you ever considered working out?
What thin person is saying? Have you considered not being fat?
Thin person, Would you like to go to the gym with me sometime?
What thin person is saying? You should be ashamed for how fat you are, so I'm going to passively aggressively suggest you work on your weight.
Thin person. I'm so tired of getting hit on.
What thin person is saying? I have low self-esteem and I need you to give me reassurance from someone who is fat, because nobody ever loves such fat people.
These are all just some of the microaggressions that fat women go through all the time by thin people. Even if thin people understand what it's like to be body shamed, they will never have it as bad as fat people do.